Hello, and today we conclude our story, our parable of the prodigal son. We are in the book of Luke, chapter 15, verses 28 through 32, and it reads as follows. The older brother became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered his father, "Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you kill the fatted calf for him." "My son," the father said, "you're always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Ooh, hard pill to swallow for the brother. Now, he was angry. The older son was not happy. The other brother came home and was joyfully received. Uh-oh. The older brother felt like it was an insult. I've been here. I've been obedient. I've done what was required of me. And now we celebrate him? The older brother was bitter. He was angry about this. He said, "I never transgressed you. Never." The older son finally just told him to the father, you know, and he told his father and he showed his bitterness. But the problem was, this had been in his heart probably for years. The time the brother was gone is the time that this was building up in him. The older brother was unappreciative of all he did have. See, the older brother was there. The older brother never went without. The older brother didn't struggle eating food. The older brother didn't have to do all that extra work for somebody else and not get paid. The older brother had the benefits, but he stayed where he was supposed to. The younger one was the one that was missing out because he left. But to the older brother, it felt like he was disobedient, and the younger brother was disobedient, and the older one had been obedient. Oh my goodness. He had his father with him all the time, the older brother. And he had a home with him all the time, the older brother. His love from his father could be felt and seen all the time because he was with his father. And as the father said, "Everything I have is yours." So he was never without. The brother was proud. He was haughty. He was above because he stayed. And his brother was below because he left or he was lost. Or if I can change it up and just put it in a little different perspective, as church folks who are holier than thou, and we have a problem when somebody comes into the church and they don't look like we do, or they don't talk like we do, or they don't smell like we do, or they don't even hug everybody like you do, and we think we found and they lost. And what are they doing here? They belong here. Everybody does, at every level. If you want to be with the Father, come to the Father. The brother was already there. He was good. He didn't realize that somebody else could be good or get better by being with the Father. His brother, my brother that came into the door of the church that you might have seen in a different way, is my brother coming home. And we should have a party and celebrate. If you notice when Jesus talked about the sheep being found, when it was found, the shepherd elevated it. We have to understand that the lost have to be elevated just like the found want to be elevated. And the older brother didn't see this. He was struggling with this in himself because he had been there. He had been in the trenches. He was always there. And you left and squandered everything and didn't do right in my father's eyes. But now you come back to his house and think we should have a party. But what the brother forgot, one, this was always his anyway. And it's always been his father's house. And the father can treat whomever he wants to treat in any fashion that he wants to treat them, because he still treated the older brother, great. And he gave some of that love to his younger son who was lost. It didn't diminish his love for the one that was there, that was found, that was always working and doing what he was supposed to do. It just elevated one who was lost and needed it to be accepted when he came back home, and to know that he was loved and missed and was happy that he came back home. And truly the brother should have been happy. Now, there was a sense in which the older son was obedient, but his heart was not like his father's heart was. You know, he just wasn't like that. You know, we had the Pharisees who were talking about, why do you sit with sinners and eat with sinners? And why was Jesus sitting with the tax guy? All these things. But we should have been happy. We should have been happy. So the father came out and pleaded with them, son, you are always with me. And the father loved the older son. It didn't minimize his love for the older son. And when he called him, he didn't call him son, he called him child, which is an affectionate word. It was right that we should be merry and happy and celebrating. And if you look at the beginning of this chapter, it answered the complaint of those religious leaders. They had no reason to complain and every reason to be happy. If you are at home and you got food and shelter and car and clothes, water, soap, electricity, love, and somebody who doesn't have it comes home and receives it, you should be happy that they are receiving it. I love my sons the same. They may not all want to react the same way. They may not all talk to me the same way, but it doesn't stop me from loving them. They may be gone, they may be older, they may be doing their own thing, they may not talk to me much, whatever it may be. I'm still going to love them the same. And if they were lost and they came back, I'm going to celebrate. Because I'm going to feel good about them coming back. I'm going to feel good. And if my child is following my footsteps, he or she should feel good when they come back. And that's what messed this older son up. His father was showing him how to celebrate with love and thanksgiving for his brother returning, and he had hatred or anger or bitterness. Hatred might be strong, but he definitely had bitterness and anger. This is mercy being stretched forth. You can see where Jonah didn't want to go to the Ninevites and show mercy that he had just received. He got in trouble. was about mercy. The brother didn't have mercy. He had received it. He got grace from his dad. He felt somebody else wasn't worthy to receive. And we don't get to call who's worthy to receive. We just accept those that want to receive. That is between them and the Father. So with that being said, we end the prodigal son and Luke chapter 15. Amen.